Hey YouTube, Farmer again here. Welcome back to the channel. We're back working on this flatbed. In the last episode, we got the headache rack finished up and the back half of the flatbed here tacked in, and the front there at the bottom of the headache rack finished. I think today we're going to work on getting the stake pockets tacked in on both sides, the rub rail on. And I'm gonna build a set of steps on the side of this flatbed on either side, so I can get on the flatbed without having to try to jump or climb up on the tires or whatever to get up there. So that's what we're gonna work on today. We might work on some other stuff. We'll just see how long this video gets here. So I'm gonna get some steel laid out and get to work. Okay, so I got one of them built. You can see this is the idea of what we're doing. I did 2x2 pieces of box tubing with this, I don't even call it tread channel, or I don't know what the proper term is, but you can see it's like a piece of channel that's got expanded holes in it for grip. I just got that at the local steel supplier. So I got that welded on. You can kind of see, I'll sit back here, you can kind of see the idea of what we're doing. The reason why one step is closer up top than the other is the steps are evenly spaced. If you go from stepping here to here to here, those are all even lengths. So I'll set you guys up over here, and you can watch me weld up the next one. All right, so you can see we got the other side welded in there. I still got to weld 2 more sides to that step before it's permanently mounted, but it's not going to come off for now. So I think we're going to go ahead and move on to tacking on all of the stake pockets that we've got to put on here down the side of this bed, and putting the rub rail on. So I think we're going to get started with that now. Okay, so you can see I've got them all clamped up here. That is until I run out of clamps. So we're gonna go ahead and tack these on now. I'm doing them 24 inches apart. Basically, I'm just copying I have a gooseneck trailer, and I'm just kind of copying what they have as far as spacing goes, which is 12 inches from here to here, and then hooking the tape measure here on down to here's 24 inches, and then repeat the process however many more times down to the end. So I'm gonna set you guys up, and I will tack all these in place. Okay, so it's just more of the same now all the way to the end. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all of these completely welded on here. I had them all tacked, and then I got ahead of myself and put the rub rail up to tack it on, and then realized that I had not fully welded these stake pockets on. And it's a whole lot easier to get in here with the welder and weld like this than to try to come from above the rub rail and down below. So I had to take it back off and weld all these guys in place. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go do the other side, and then I'll worry about getting the rub rail on. All right, so as you can see, we've got this side all welded on now. So I think our next thing is we got to get the rub rail set up and clamped in place, and then we can start tacking the rub rail on there. always fun working by yourself. You learn to get really creative with clamps. Blocks and chains and all that other stuff. All right. There we go. Okay, so we got this piece of flat bar sitting up in place. It's a 3/8 by 2 flat bar, 20-foot stick, obviously. So as you can see, I don't know if it shows up on the video, but I put this clamp on this stake pocket here. I set it all the way down so that I could slide the flat bar in between here, and I could rest it on this piece while I clamped it at the other end, and I'm just kind of letting it run wild down there because I can raise and lower it to keep it even on the all the way down the line here. I'm just kind of eyeballing the how far down I want to put it. Reasoning for how far down I'm putting it is basically I can get in here really easy with a welder and run a bead along here, and it gives me setback from the top there. And also when I go to put the round tube in here, it sets it down below the lip that it's not going to be in the radius of the box tubing there. So I think we're gonna get the welder fired up and tack this in place. And for those of you wondering why I have this piece of box tubing here, that was my stop. Working by myself, having to hold it up way down at that end. I didn't know how far to push it, so I just pushed it till it bumped the box tubing, and I knew that that's as far as it needs to go. We're gonna have to, once we weld this all in place, we're gonna have to heat this up right here with a torch and bend this down till it touches the box tubing there. So, but we gotta first get this piece welded on. All right, so we got the rub rail all tacked on here. I'll take you over here and I'll show you what I did. I was able to bend this with one of the metal clamps, no issue. So I just bent it with the clamp. You can see what that looks like. So that was no issue. I ended up going 3 passes on this weld just to kind of fill in and make it nice right there. We're gonna go ahead and cut the little pieces of tube that are gonna go in between each one of these stake pockets. We're gonna cut it out of this 2-inch tube. I don't know what the thickness is on it. It's pretty heavy wall tubing. So we're gonna cut that down to size. We got to make a bunch of little pieces. I think it's 1 3/4 inch long pieces. We need like 9 or 10 of them. So we're gonna do that now. All right, so I got all these pieces cut down to size, and they slide in and get welded in like that. And I got them all laid out here, and I got some of them clamped in place here, you can see. I got marks just to kind of guide me where to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld these in here now. All right, so we finally got all of these welded in. Boy, that was not fun. You know, welding the stake pockets on isn't bad, and welding these isn't bad. But getting these welded is not fun at all. Royal pain. You can't really get in there with your gun very well. Hindsight's 2020. I probably should have welded these on before I put the flat bar up, but I don't know. I may not do that on the next one. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we got it all done there. So now we just have to repeat the performance on the other side. All right, so this time around I measured out where the pieces of pipe were gonna go and welded them on the flat bar before I put it up. If you're gonna do something like this, I recommend doing it that way. That was a lot easier because welding this is in here is not bad. Getting underneath the truck and trying to weld back here is a royal pain. Not fun at all to do. So we got this set up there. We got it clamped. I'm slowly tacking it as I go here. That way I can adjust it at the end there, up or down, and kind of manipulate it a little bit as we go. So I'm going to continue getting this all tacked in here. Okay, so I figured I would show you how I'm bending the front piece of flat bar. It's 3/8 by 2 inch. I have one of these welder's clamps. These things are pretty mean. We'll just crank this down. We can do this one-handed because there's nothing to put my camera down on. Keep cranking this down. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too much. And there we are. So I love these clamps. I got these from a local welding supply store. I'll see if I can find a link and throw it in the video description below. But these things are incredibly strong. You can get different strengths. I think they rate them in PSI ratings for them, but these aren't the extremely heavy duty ones. But those, I've known guys sucking steel down. You know, they put cheater pipes or whatever on the ends of these. You can see this is got a setup for a socket and a wrench. I've had breaker bars and stuff on these things, pulling stuff together, and they work incredibly well. So I'm going to go ahead and weld that on, and then we'll continue on here. Okay, so we're up here on top of the top of the flatbed here, and I got my I don't know if you want to call it window bars or window protection or whatever laid out here. I think I'm just going to use some leftover 3/8 flat bar from the rub rail. It's 3/8 inch thick by 2 inches by 14 and I think an 1/8 inches. Laid them out 5 inches on center. I think that's gonna look pretty good once I have it laid out. So I'm gonna tack these in there. So as you can see, we got all those pieces tacked in there. I like the look of what that looks like as far as spacing. It protects the window, but you can still see out of it. They're spaced fairly far apart, so I think we're gonna leave it there. I just have to fully weld them, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and fully weld them when I weld the box tubing on the headache rack. I still got lots of places to weld on this headache rack here. I got to weld all the cross members in and everything, so I think I'm going to do that all at the same time there. So I think this video is getting long enough. I think I'm going to end it here. We've done quite a bit. We got the bars in for the the window there and all of the rub rail and everything installed on this bed. It is pretty much done the way it's going to look. I've got to weld tabs on the open areas of that headache rack because I plan on bolting diamond plate on in the future, but I can't do that till I get the diamond plate, and that's going to be a little bit before I get some. It's going to be a couple days. The steel place where I get it from is closed currently right now through the holidays, so I'm gonna have to wait on that. But that's pretty much the only welding I have to do up there. I might weld a couple little brackets for maybe some reverse lights or something like that up at the top, beacon lights or something like that. But I think it's pretty much done. We got the steps on. The only thing that I have left to do is I have a toolbox that I'm gonna mount somewhere in this area here. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that, but that's pretty much the only thing that I'm gonna need to do there, aside from cutting light holes. But as far as any welding, that's the only thing I have to do here. I have to make a mounting location for mud flaps for the back of the truck here. And the biggest thing is I've got to figure out what I'm going to do to address the back of this bed here. I have some ideas kicking around of what I want to do, but I think that's going to be in the next video. So if you like this sort of thing, consider subscribing, and I will catch you in the next one.